So what happened this weekend?
I went to my first debate tournament.
They've been doing Impact Highway AIDS and Impact Respect Human Life. I make them go for one. Their entire case is predicated off of having to respect human rights, and when we do this, then we can solve for these AIDS.
Essential unity is leads to the disastrous politics pitting groups that have the most in common against each other.
Critique is exposing their own flaws and how they're not respecting human life by only imposing conditional hospitality. They don't solve for
AIDS as acknowledges has linked the phenomenon of sex trafficking to spreading indigenous of AIDS virus and a state of the nation of HIV/AIDS or proving resistant to treatment. But we're seeing that the trafficking is part of sex trafficking, the global dispersion of HIV studies.
Where all things must needs be compounded in one.
Debate talk. It's something that you have to be dedicated about if you're going to join the debate team. People get really passionate and they get really into it.
They just make a ruling to say
No,
people
I'm
should
saying
do-
like the government researches in the sense of we have 3 branches.
give a ruling that then other
They are
agencies
giving
have
a
to-
ruling. The administration in challenging a 2007 Arizona law that allowed state boards to consider immigration status when granting or revoking business and professional licenses. If you do not practice, it's very easy for you to drop your speed. Like, there are different exercises that we do, like we do every other word. Another thing is we say watermelon in between each word, still reading it as fast as you can, because diction is very important, because if the judges can't understand us, they will stop taking notes on what we're saying because we don't make any sense to them.
I've been here coaching the team for a decade now. The team was originally founded in the 1960s when it was Harper College. It disappeared for a couple years in the 70s and then was refounded as a student organization in the 80s. Over the past 10 years, we went from not being ranked within the top 200 debate programs nationally to being ranked within either number 1 or number 2 for the past 5 years in a row now. It's a lot of reading and a lot of practice time.
It will force you to manage your time well because it's so time consuming.
You need to make sure that you're able to do your classwork and debate work at the same time.
We don't actually cut people from the team at Binghamton. People generally tend to cut themselves once they realize they can't keep up with the workloads.
What kind of skills do you think you're learning while doing this that you think are transferable?
Oh, comprehending information quickly.
You don't only have to read it and be able to summarize, you have to learn it and know it and understand it like the back of your hand.
Being able to debate both sides.
I mean, it's really good for cracking out those essays at the last minute and stuff like that.
It's a little easier to take notes in class sometimes because, they're talking so slow versus I'm used to being able to talk fast.
Next to each other, that means that we win the round.
It teaches you skills that you're going to need regardless in college.
Speed reading is you have certain time limits to debate and you want to make sure you get certain arguments across in a certain time.
Nationally, some people could read upwards of 600 to 700 words per minute, and people are expected to be able to hear, understand that, be able to think of answers and write your answers all simultaneously.
Sometimes you can feel it in your body that you're pushing yourself and trying to exert these words, and so it's more like controlling your stomach and holding the air in your stomach and letting it out slowly as you speed read. Control yourself to make sure your posture is straight and that you can spit out all these words and keep pushing, pressing the air from your stomach all the way up to your chest. So it's like after an hour or 45 minutes of them just telling us to do all types of drills, it's like your body's exhausted and you just want to sit down.
The skill is that when you get to that level, when you start talking with people in everyday life, taking time tests and things like that, everything sort of moves in slow motions because you're so used to functioning at a higher speed.
So why do you feel passionate about debating in general?
It's interesting to hear how other people think and how other people construct their ideas.
There are some really interesting things that make you think. You get to have an open forum to have these sort of discussions about these topics, something that you don't necessarily have on a day-to-day basis.
If I hear somebody arguing about something and I don't agree with it, I'll understand their argument and understand their point of view.
So what do you have to look forward to now?
I'm not going to underestimate it, but I feel like it's going to be so much easier because of this experience. Quitting is not really an option for us.